Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, take some recording. Yes, I am. My name is Adam, and this is Adam FPL, and welcome to the Gameweek 6 review and the Gameweek 7 preview. So let's try and keep this short and sweet. So this week, Gameweek 4 came back with 59 points, slightly below the average. Unfortunately, very fine margins. So I made 3 transfers. I bought in Senesi, Semenyo and Mateta. Semenyo did really well. Mateta and Senesi not so much. And Goodmanson was on for about 8 points. He was going to get a bonus and a clean sheet. And then unfortunately scored an own goal in the 90 some odd minute. And that took him from 8 to 0. So that's the fine margins. Unfortunately, that ended up going against me this week in terms of whether I got a red or a green arrow. But it is what it is. Other than that, the Villa guys failed to deliver again. Weirdly, Villa are the only team in the top 4 leagues in England to have not scored a goal, which is crazy. Wirtz again under-delivered against Burnley. Salah bailed me out last minute with a penalty. But yeah, outside of that, another slightly underwhelming week. But it is what it is. Let's move on. Let's go on to game week 5 and I'll go through my plan. So last week I mentioned that I was going to free hit this week. I've changed my mind. I'm not going to. And I'll get into why that is very shortly. So at the moment I've got 1 free transfer. Next week I want to get Haaland in. I know that's going to take 2 transfers at least to fund Haaland. So I'm thinking, why bother? And also I don't think my bench is that strong. And then I've got an injury as well, which I'll get to in my team. Start off Robert Sanchez away to Manchester United. It's a toss-up between either playing Dubravka against Nottingham Forest at home or Robert Sanchez away to United. Honestly, I don't know who I'm going to play right now. I'm leaning towards Dubravka. I do think he looks a good option. I think United are more likely to score against Chelsea than Nottingham Forest are against Burnley. I like Burnley's defensive setup. They parked the bus against Liverpool last week and did a good job up until that penalty. So I am leaning towards starting Dubravka this week as a bit of a differential. Then we got Senesi at home to Newcastle. Again, I think this is a good fixture. Newcastle played in Champions League against Barcelona on Thursday night, so they're going to be a bit tired. Pedro Porro away to Brighton. Yeah, decent-ish fixture. Porro probably not as attacking as I thought he would be, but the good news is at 5.5 I can use him as a bit of a cash cow if I need to free up money or if I want to go to an Arsenal defender, which I might be doing. Then we got Mourinho. He is a doubt. It looks like he's not going to play, but he's going to face a late fitness test. So I think he either plays full 90 or he doesn't play at all. So what I'm thinking is I'll start him. And then worst case scenario, I've got Goodmanson on the bench away to Wolves, who can fill in if he doesn't play. Then we got Salah at home to Everton, captain. I think that's a no-brainer. He looked a lot more sharper against Atletico on the Champions League night. And yeah, I think that captaincy is a no-brainer. Wirtz, again, I think this is last chance saloon for him, really. After this, the fixtures do get a bit tough. Crystal Palace away, Chelsea away, and then United home, Brentford away. I think this is it for him, really. I've given him 5 weeks, 5 chances. This is his last chance now to deliver. He looks a good player, but he just doesn't have the output that you want as an FPL player. Then we got Semenyo at home to Newcastle again. As I mentioned, Semenyo probably the form player in the Premiership right now. Newcastle, as I said, will be tired, and I think Semenyo could even be a captaincy shot this week. I might actually put him as my vice captain. Let's do that right now. And yeah, let's do that. And then in terms of the front 3, we've got João Pedro away to United. He's been very consistent, the only consistent player in my team. Again, United, probably one of them fixtures. They could either do absolutely nothing or they could batter United 3-0. It's just one of them, isn't it? But João Pedro, you know he's going to play. He's been playing the minutes for Chelsea. He's one of their main attacking threats, I guess you could say, after Palmer. And you know he delivers, so yeah, I'm happy with him. Watkins away to Sunderland. Again, probably a last chance saloon for him. I think I am going to get rid of him next week. Sunderland away, probably a tougher fixture than it looks. I think Sunderland are actually a really good team at home. But yeah, this is last chance for him. And I do want to roll the transfer so then I can get Haaland this next week. I could get Haaland this week, but if you look at City, they're playing away to Arsenal, which I think is the hardest fixture in the league. So I'd rather keep Watkins this week away to Sunderland. And then Mateta away to West Ham. West Ham have been pretty poor. I do like Mateta this week. I think it's a good option. And then on the bench, Goodmanson first sub, Konza second sub. I think Sunderland will score against Villa. And then Dewsbury Hall away to Liverpool, which is a tough fixture. So yeah, the reason I haven't bench boost because I would have needed to get rid of Murillo, who's probably injured, and then probably Dewsbury Hall. And I just think if I'm going to get Haaland next week, I don't really want to be using transfers. I've only got one free transfer now, so let's roll it into 2 next week. But yeah, this is the team. I think I'm pretty happy with it, to be honest, this week. I think hopefully we can finally get a green arrow, but let's see about that. And then in terms of next week, what the plans will be. So well, there's 3 options really. In terms of game week 6, I could either make 2 transfers. So I could get rid of Salah and Watkins. So let's say here, we take our Watkins, we put in Haaland, and then we take out Salah. That gives me 9.4 for a midfielder. So I could maybe even put in Cole Palmer at home to Brighton, and then do a 3rd transfer and free up $1 million somewhere. So I could get rid of Wirtz, for example. Put in a cheap-ish midfielder, 7.3. So let's say, who have we got? Let's say we go for Jack Grealish away at home to West Ham. And then that'll be 3 free transfers, and then I can captain Haaland. I could do something like that. I'm tempted to triple captaining him. So that's option 1, is I'm definitely going to get Haaland next week, but I could triple captain him at home to Burnley. That's an option. Second option is if I get a few injuries, maybe I might have to wildcard next week. That's a possibility. And then third option is I could free hit, and instead of not go for Haaland and then free hit. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking about next week. But as of this week, this is the team. Plan is to get Haaland next week, possibly Palmer, and yeah, it's looking okay. Not wildcarded yet, and I'm just taking it week by week at the moment. Bench boost is going to have to wait another week, which is what it is. But yeah, this is the team. Hopefully we can get a green arrow. This has been Adam FPL. Until next time, peace.